Self-knowledge must always be referential. It cannot be self-knowledge in relation to the self alone. If it does, it becomes a fantasy and the onset of depression. Thus, referentiality in self-awareness means I must always place the I as the reference point, towards which I will know myself. And it is good that this reference point exists in this manner, so as to allow the smooth conduct of knowledge. That is, knowledge must yield a fruit, and the fruit of self-knowledge must lead to change, to transformation. This is the process of spiritual education. In the Church, the spiritual father will first direct your attention to Christ Himself. It is before Him and through Him, that self-awareness takes place in the lives of the saints and the life of the Virgin Mary. Such inner reflection can then occur in a safe manner, that is, knowing in advance that this can lead to a happy ending. Once, during my studies, when I was studying psychology, an ascetic said this profound thing that took me years to understand, but I eventually grasped it very well. It was the time when I started going to church. He asked me what I was studying. Psychology, I answered. He responds, "Did you know that if God allowed psychology to achieve its purpose, it would be worse than a nuclear catastrophe? Living life without God." I asked what he meant. He said that encountering oneself without God produces terrible despair. You see this in a lot of psychotherapy. Psychotherapy can be unhelpful, even damage a person, especially when conducted by someone who doesn't understand this. That is, the therapist may allow the person to reveal things about himself that are debilitating. You know, they're going to push them to the brink of despair. This may subject the person to tremendous mental pain. I don't want to give examples, but I can say this. So you see, this kind of self-referral in psychotherapy, such as focusing on your relationship with your mother, your relationship with your father, your brother, you know what I'm saying. It can drive a man to the depths of despair, deepening their depression, or worsening whatever mental issue they suffer from. So, you see, self-awareness within the Church is eschatological. A great father in the Philokalia once said, "If we do not see how God created us, we will not understand how sin has affected us." So, the priority is the gift, is the donation. It's how God beautifies you and uplifts you and accepts you. So, the self-knowledge comes as a response. So, in the gift of God and in this transcendent knowledge of God, this self-knowledge becomes healthy. It leads to this beautiful state that the Fathers call harmolipi. It is a state of joyful sorrow. And so the Spirit of God descends and brings us down smoothly. It brings us down because we must descend, for we are often on our high horses, thinking we can judge the whole world, and we know who's who and what's what. These paranoid things I mentioned earlier, everyone understands it perfectly, even if they are completely illiterate. They hide behind the anonymity of the internet and swear, pretending they know everything. But this has to be a descent. A person does not normally speak or express themselves like that. They come down to this level, and thus their word carries weight. The other word is not valid. It's just a polemical, confrontational word. As St. Gregory Palamas said, reason can surpass reason. You curse one, the other curses you, and so on. But the word of God is different. It comes from the process of self-knowledge, which is always referential, eschatological, reflecting on what God intends for me, and referring to what He has already done for me, sustaining me.